next session, which is on in-house marketing versus outsourcing, the benefits and the challenges. And we see now more and more people going for outsourcing or managed services so as to concentrate on their core competency and let the professionals handle the rest. But then, of course, it comes with the challenge of even the privacy of data, security towards it, and other challenges which we are going to be discussing in detail here. I would like to invite the moderator of the session, Mr. Vinod Thakkar, to kindly grace the dais. He is, ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Square Feet Property Consultant Private Limited. He specializes in the marketing of residential and commercial projects, and currently Square Feet has 17 offices spread across Maharashtra and Gujarat. Inviting our first panelist, Mr. Shailendra Singh. 17 years of extensive experience. He's a managing partner of Goodwill Coordinators and director at GBL Realty Private Limited, based out of Hyderabad. He specializes in overall planning of residential and commercial projects, which include arriving at the required product mix and sizes, product positioning, pricing strategies, and inviting our second panelist, Mr. Pawan Agarwal, Director NK Realtors from Kolkata, 20 years of experience in real estate services. He's also worked towards business development in residential real estate segment. He's known for developing strong relationship with builders and investors, and conceives the plans and strategy for mass market projects. Inviting our next panelist, Mr. Nakul Himat Singhka. Extensive 16 years of professional experience. He has spearheaded the expansion and dynamic growth of the company. Nakul's approach to the real estate business is not merely as a builder, but also as a developer. And inviting now Mr. Pradeep Sureka, Managing Director, Sureka Group, the group which has been in the forefront and has steered the course of diverse business sectors in India, like real estate, rubber goods and software research incubator. And some of the group's landmark real estate projects in Kolkata are Park Plaza, White House, Duckback House, Central Plaza, just to name a few. So more in depth into outsourcing, the challenges, opportunities, I hand over to the session moderator, Mr.
Good afternoon, friends. This is a real session for all of us realtors. Friends, over the last 2 decades, real estate as an industry has been transformed like anything, you know. And so is a realtor, right from, you know, a terminology called dalal, then broker, then estate agent, and now we call ourselves a realtor. An individual developer from, you know, corporate setup like development, what we see nowadays. And a full customer from an outstanding smart consumer, you know, today we see. So these are the transformation happened in real estate industry. And then it has to happen with the marketing of that project, you know. Earlier 20 years back, when you have to market an individual building, you don't have to really do anything. You just have to erect a project and there are customers in queue. And now there are huge inventory, there are huge projects, there are huge lifestyle projects. Like customer has a big choice. And so it is very complicated for all of us how to market that project. And today we are going to discuss amongst our all learned panelists and who are part of this transition of this transformation over the last 20 years. That outsourcing of that you know, marketing or in-house marketing. And we as a consultant are having our own experience you know, dealing with developers, individual developers, corporate developers. So let me start this conversation with Mr. Pradeep Sureka. Sir, how do you see that, you know, what are the important things about sales and marketing team in-house? Can you share your views, being so experienced in this industry?
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thank you for inviting me on this panel discussion. As you rightly said, real estate has really transformed in the last decade, especially in India. In the last decade, I have probably done more work than what I've done 2 decades before that. And the realtor sector also has grown in the last decade. So organizations like ours, we obviously started with our own sales team in 2000, 2001. We have Pawan here who handled my subsidy project on different manner where he was controlling the entire CRM also in that project. So in-house marketing for people like us is very, very important. More important because we have to provide the CRM, the customer relation management, especially with projects with 1,000, 2,000 apartments. And so that we can't take away. There has to be, and I'm finding that about 20 to 25% of my sales do happen through my local team. And the balance, we are dependent and with the reality group, and we are part of the same circle, so we can't take away that importance.
Great. Pawan, you are in the industry for last more than 20 years, and you've been doing a lot of exclusive project marketing. Can you share with the audience that why a developer should give their project, outsource their project to people like you?
Hello. What I feel, buying a real estate decision is the most important decision in a consumer's life cycle. And for this, they need a very experienced and specialized, knowledgeable guidance from a person. And today, you see huge attrition. And apart from that, there is no proper real estate courses are available in India. So getting that type of talent for a developer is a real challenge. Then different type of projects like residential, retail, commercial, industrial, all these products need specialized talents for different verticals. Again, getting these specialized verticals for different projects for a developer is a huge challenge. But I feel for a consultant, they can appoint different consultants who are specialized into different fields. Whether for industrial, they can appoint a person who is specialized in industrial. So it depends. They can appoint different consultants. They don't need to have a big team for different verticals. One more thing, like a developer team can work as a customer care or an information center. If they do aggressive follow-up, the customer feel that the product is not selling fast, so they will not take the decisions. But for an agent, if they do follow-ups, customer understand that it is their work, so they don't have any low confidence on the products. What we are discussing in yesterday's panel discussion about quality timely delivery is the most burning issue of real estate in India. If developers outsource marketing to specialized consultants, they can really focus on this burning issue, how to overcome it. So I feel outsourcing is the only way forward for India real estate.
Great. Sally, you also been in the industry for the last 16, 17 years and master in project marketing. Many of our fellow realtors would like to, they would like to create this vertical of, exclusive marketing. What are the basic details before, going and connecting with the developer and asking for project marketing? What are the basic things a realtor must have, to start the project marketing?
Thanks, Vinod. I think if most of our members are single broker offices who have 1 or 2 or 3 staff. So if you want to get to the next level of brokerage business, then I think taking up small mandates to start with will get you to the next level. When you take a mandate, you can actually project what your revenues are going to be in next 1 year. I mean, if you have a 30 apartment project, for example, you can project that I can make this amount of money in 1 year. You can easily project. Many times, if you're a single office, single broker office, you might not be able to attempt a mandate when you go to a large developer. Maybe 2 or 3 like-minded people also in a similar field, similar area can come together, form a company, and attempt a mandate. Also, you need to have an in-depth knowledge of the trends which are going on in the market. You cannot take a mandate just because it came your way easily. There has to be a proper strategy in place to get sales in 6 months time or 3 to 6 months time, because the developer is putting all his eggs in one basket. He's dependent on you, on your knowledge that you shared with him that I'll be able to sell in this particular time frame. So I think it brings in a lot of responsibility when you take a mandate, and it's no rocket science. It's basically what you're doing in a little larger scale.
Great. Nakul, you are very young and dynamic and developing all lifestyle project and always prefer to outsource the marketing. What is that secret and why you do that?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually, unlike I think Chacha here, a very firm believer of the outsourcing module. We at Ideal clearly believe that our core competence is in buying land and making lifestyle projects that redefine the pin code. Marketing, sales is something which we in the management really don't understand. Today, back in the old days when there were only two principal mediums through you would market through maybe hoardings and newspapers, it was a lot easier. Today I think there are various forms of marketing, social media, internet, word of mouth, print and hoardings have honestly taken the backstage, and localized marketing. We find that there's a huge amount of sales that happen through word of mouth and smaller realtors who are in the local market of where the project is, and those databases are not available with us, very frankly. So if we were to try and sell very large projects without having outsourced it, it would be extremely difficult to reach the end user in the proper manner. While I say that, word of caution is that when you spread yourself too thin and there are lots of realtors projecting your product, a lot of inaccurate information still reaches out to the clients. So back to what Mr. Sureka was saying, the CRM is still with us. Once the deal is fruition, then we take over, because during the process of constructing, a lot of education, a lot of interaction is required. What we project for the project and the way we envisage is not generally the way the clients are told it is going to be, which causes a lot of heartache at the end. So we use the time for trying to iron out these wrinkles, interacting with the clients while after they've done it. But
Great. I think it's good that we have like-minded people like Nakul who are really ready to take us with us along with them. You said localize, taking a point from there. Mr. Sureka, do you think that it is very essential, because real estate at the end of the day is a local business, and if a developer like you is going to some different location which is not your area?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I will share an experience. We're doing a fairly large project in Colombo, Sri Lanka right now, and it's a very major learning curve for us. We've set up, for the first time, we've set up a show flat, we've set up a marketing office, because it's a new market. The realtor business is not yet established, like it was not established 10 years back in India also. So, it's a process, as I said. Today the realtor is very, very important for us. We have a room full here. I mean, whom do I annoy, whom do I appoint? That's also a question. So when large organizations like ours, where we are producing apartments in thousands every year, that is why we like to keep a certain percentage for all my friends and give a major percentage to one or two preferred realtors who then market the product. Today we get buyers from not only our social connections, from buybacks, people who bought and they want a friend to buy, they want to interact with you directly. Digital media is becoming so important. So as I said in Colombo, we are now creating, JLL is just coming into the country. But we have to support it with our own marketing.
Excellent. Pawan, tell me if, looking at the corporatization, because even developer also, big developers, probably they have their own sales team. Yesterday, we were looking at the presentation of a developer who hired all MBA and IIMs, Do you think those kind of skills as a consultant, we can afford to hire, to project marketing? How can we prepare ourselves to the level that, we should walk hand in hand with the developers?
See, for project marketing, appointing educations like ISB or we are talking about at the NICMAR is not a bad idea, because they can set the entire SOPs for you, what to do, what not to do. And like Nakul said about the standard communication also, that is also very important. Those things also can be part of the process. Okay, this is the standard list of queries which we need to answer. This is the entire process of communication, entire process of post-sales, each and everything they can complete a complete package and give it to the developer. So it's a great idea if they can also be pulled in with the marketing agents.
Salim, most of the time we have seen 50-55% sales coming from your existing customers, And do you think as a consultant, when you are taking a project marketing, a networking like NAR-INDIA organization, because when you are taking a big project as a project marketing, and if you as a consultant have a huge networking across the country, you can also, make all these networking partners in your project, and those kind of projects, you can sell it a little faster.
Absolutely, I think I'll share a small incident. The Bhubaneswar Association is a new association of NAR-INDIA. When I went to Bhubaneswar, I have an office in Bhubaneswar. When I went there to market 1200 apartment project, it was a fairly new market for us with no knowledge. But coming from a bigger city like Hyderabad, the channel partner system was in place. So we introduced that system in Bhubaneswar, and they adapted to it very quickly. There are a couple of broker friends of mine from Bhubaneswar here who've sold 150 apartments each in a period of 6 months to 7 months. So I think the potential in tier 2 cities and networking with NAR-INDIA will play a major role, because they have the burning desire to grow. We are a little content in larger cities, but if you go to use the networks in smaller cities, I think it will play a major role in sales.
Thank you, panelists. I think we are really running out of time. What I would conclude is, it is very important that relationship with developers and realtors should go hand in hand. It all depends on the size of projects one has, the size of company they have, will define they should have more number of direct sale or outsourcing. But the platform like this will help both developers and realtors. If a realtor wants to take a big chunk of project as a marketing, all our NAR-INDIA association can be part of that and can be able to sell it a little faster. Thank you very much, all of you, for your sharing thought. Thank you.
Thank you for this excellent session and your insights, and to express thanks to them, I would like to invite Ms. Vanessa D'Souza to kindly present the memento. First expressing thanks to Mr. Shailendra Singh, President of Pune Association, Ms. Vanessa D'Souza. Vanessa, if you may also present it to Mr. Pawan Agarwal. May I now invite Mr. Vijay Sarathi, the President of Hyderabad Association and President-elect NAR-INDIA, to kindly present the memento. Nakul Himat Singhaka. And may I also request you to kindly present the memento to Mr. Pradeep Surekha. Thank you, Mr. Sathi, and thanking our session moderator, may I request Mr. Praveen Bavadia to kindly present the memento, appreciating Mr. Vinod Thakkar. So, group photograph, and we close the session. Photographers, may I